How's it going, everybody? It's Matt Tomorrow here. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Um, we have this problem with history, and I'm just gonna play his comments from O'Shea's comments about the Black Manosphere. This video came from the actual video of his on this the Celebrity Junk channel called uh, "Pearly Things Buried the Black Manosphere." I'm only going to focus on the latter half of it when it comes to comments directly about the Black Manosphere itself, so that way I can react just specifically to those comments because I think this warrants a lot of actual commentary that a lot of people just don't understand for some reason. Yeah, we're not going to talk shit about him in the chat. We're just going to leave our actual commentary based on the actual video that's going to be shown here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the latter half of the video with him directly explaining his comments about the Black Manosphere, and then I'll come back and I'll get my commentary on. So hold on a second.
I have my views on the entire manosphere. I'll just deal with what I specialize in and which I was a key player in, which is in the Black Manosphere. In the Black Manosphere, what we think about was about complaining about women. The Black Manosphere's problem is that the Black Manosphere primarily is a place that hates black men. Not everybody. There's a certain element of hating black men more or less than anything. We could talk about women, but we could talk about that. Most guys in the Black Manosphere will not do anything to help you. Cannot even give you $5. This is some of the brothers. Okay? So when Just Pearly Things came here, the Black Manosphere typically was created from what I can now see as it's developed. And again, with my stuff I'm doing now in my studio and in Kinganda, I have full control over everything. In the Manosphere portion of it, I had some control over something. But what I realized was that as those of us who developed into who we really were, the Black Manosphere was never created, in my honest opinion, to do anything for black men. It was created pretty much to give black men a room to vent about their problems. It was never designed, in my honest opinion, to get black men to work together, to get black men to mend their ideas, to get black men to help each other. And you haven't seen that. Nothing positive, I believe, for the most part. There are some strides here and there, have mended the relationships of our men in our community. And the biggest problem that the Black Manosphere has showed me was that black women might have been this as an issue. The biggest issue is our men cannot work together. And that is why the women don't respect us, because as a group of men, we will not help each other achieve anything. There's been a lot of good brothers that will help you in the Black Manosphere, I can tell you that. But that's our problem. We've never addressed the issues that we can't get along as black men. We can get along when we're roasting people. We can get along where we're talking on the Pookies and Ray Rays and black women. But when it comes to say, okay, we need to own everything in our community, the Black Manosphere is typically against that. The Black Manosphere says, burn the community down. And I have had elements of understanding where they come from. I've said the same thing with some of the Pookies and Ray Rays, you need to get rid of them. Or get rid of certain elements. I've had moments where I felt like that. But now I have to walk back and look at that and to say, okay, but that's where your power comes from, your own people. When you talk about cleaning up Black America, the Black Manosphere is against that. When you're talking about starting black business and wanting to control the things in the community, you want to be able to control what you have. You want to be able to change your women because of what you're doing, or if they're not going to be a part of it, they can go somewhere else. The Black Manosphere don't have any talking, has no desire to have power as black men in Black America. They don't want to become a voting bloc. They don't want to do what Latino men do. So that's why you see so much infighting in the group. That's why you see so much hopping on Just Pearly thing's side. And that's the reason why the whole Just Pearly things debacle has divided it, because the Black Manosphere was designed to be anti. Now that I'm looking at it 8 years later, it is designed to be anti-black and support whoever is talking down on or whoever is using blacks. It's not designed to help men. It's not designed to build strong men. It's not designed to get men to do very well for themselves. I've tried it over the years. I've worked with every guy in every sector. I've interviewed guys in tech. I've interviewed guys in business. I've interviewed, and to be fair, there's some guys that do that. But the Black Manosphere is not about giving power to black men. It's about complaining about each other, for the most part, and complaining about black women, for the most part, and complaining about single moms and Pookies and Ray Rays, for the most part, which we do have good points in the Black Manosphere for sure. But that's why you're not going to see any development coming with black men from that, because it never addresses the problem that black men have with each other, how we need to change our people, how if we're going to get respect, we need to develop certain elements of our communities. We need to work with our people. The Black Manosphere will never address those things. And this is the reason why black men will always be disrespected. And that's why somebody like Just Pearly Things will always be in a place of power, because the guys who feel like that really should be like white conservatives. That's what the most Black Manosphere guys should be like, not even in a real blacks. They should be more or less. These are same guys who wanted to be, in my honest opinion, in the sector of the black sector of the Manosphere, because they didn't get a chance to be in the white sector of the Manosphere. So they wouldn't have a house there, but their talking points, they might as well be there. It doesn't solve problems for men to do things, to put the accountability on the men to create their own future. The Black Manosphere doesn't do that. That's what happened to it. And that's why the Manosphere has not created any rights in overall. It has created a community of red pill grifters, scam artists, the overall Manosphere, and some in the Black Manosphere too. And so now we got a lot of good guys that are there that, in my honest opinion, are in a burning house. I will say that. I get the talking points about women. I get the feminism. I get that part of the Manosphere. It's great. But it doesn't address how you overcome that. And if you cannot work with men to achieve anything, which the Black Manosphere does not address, you can't have anything. You need people that can come in and develop and get into industries, into clean up the youngs, to give and to create institutions in the place that you know that's familiar. That's my honest assessment. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer your father, you do subscribe to the bell. We're out.
Okay. The reason why I was writing in the chat is because I wanted to listen to it live and react to it by the comments that I put in there. And the comments that I put in the chat while the video was playing is what I'm directly going to answer to. So first of all, before we get started, let's give a shout out to the Great Pill Podcast, Terrence B, Immortal Red Pill 81, Grand Puba, D1 Trades, XL Pro, Soft Sands, Spiritual Logic Hulk, Rat, Captain Supreme, Garfield Lawson. Yeah, man, I hope he wins. Will Melvin. LOM. Data Rail Solutions. And Black Avenger. All right, so let's go for it here. All right, overall, I disagree with this commentary. Overall. As a person who's been here since 2015, I disagree. I think we're confusing two things. Black Manosphere 1.0 was about creating those things for men. As you can see, you could talk to Mike V, DC Code Breakers. You could talk to Wacky Word of O. You could talk to a bunch of people, and clearly that the things that was going on in 1.0 wasn't the things that are going on now. There were women in the space, but there wasn't women in the space who was just completely taken. I don't even think it's taken advantage of. I mean, these dudes want to actually hear common sense things from the actual women. And I literally don't think that that's a problem. But you have to understand that the space meant something in 1.0. I thought that when I came here in 2.0 that we was going to talk about these things openly and then we was going to move on to more substantive things, but that's not what happened. As it turns out, sometimes when you deal with patients in a hospital, sometimes they come to the hospital when they already at stage 4 cancer. And the thing about stage 4, there is no stage 5. And like most people who go to the hospital whenever things are completely incorrect and cannot be fixed, that's what a lot of these people came into the Manosphere for. Now, to me, the problem was cultural. I fixed this cultural problem a long time ago. Rather than try to make myself available to every single woman on the planet, I set up some pretty rigid standards for actual women that I was going to be able to deal with. And I just went to other cultures to where there was going to be in quite abundance. It would clearly be a fool's errand in order to look for things in places where they're not offered on a cultural basis. Most women in this culture cannot be trusted. They have had the protection of the Bravo Alpha November for so long that they are socially awkward around men who have their own shit together. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. I am never going to discuss it. Neither am I going to fix it. Private life, as soon as a woman comes to start to talk to me about her dick support issues, I like, hold on a second. Don't you ever in your life talk to me about the relationship conversation. You see, I'm off the field. You got to go find you another Bravo Alpha November to lay these problems on. Because I'm not going to be the one that's going to listen to this shit ever. So if we want to get back to the business of why we here, let's do that. But I don't talk I don't talk relationship conversation with people. I don't do that. Oh, I'm about to get to that right now. Most of these men, if you're still finding yourself chasing these women inside of this environment, you cannot be trusted either. You cannot be trusted either because you are what you deal with. You are what you deal with. And these women wouldn't even have this level of power in the environment if they didn't have such clear levels of suckers that they can deal with. I say that these people have created their own problems. And there's two groups of people here who are in high number. There's a high number of men here who don't have any access to this actual woman, who want the same deal that she gave to other men. And they think that they're going to complain to her without anything in hand until they get the previous deal that the other person got. You got those group of men. The second group of men you have here in high number are the people who lie about the sexual access that they apparently have with the same women. And they give all these bullshit ass solutions about how to bow down to said women that they don't even have access to. Because to them, they play the homegirl role. What's going wrong now, son? They play the homegirl role. And what do I mean by the homegirl role? They play the homegirl role in the actual fact that They want to stop all criticism from coming to women, and they want dudes to quote unquote get some of this game. What's going on, XC? To get some of this game on how to bow down and feed yourself directly to people who don't mean you any good. And yes, it is your fault. All your fault. Your fault, your responsibility, your problem alone. These people piled into the space too. Yes, they did. Because Black Manosphere was like pro black. So many people have claimed power from the actual term that the original intent of it is long been gone. Long been gone. Yeah, that's what happened. And those are the men. The women are here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the women are here. Because guess what? When the men actually mature, the women are going to be the ones that actually get most of these men once they get their stuff together. That's obvious. That's why it makes sense for them to be here. But I'm nobody's fool when it comes to this community shit either. Community means fix my homegirls. That's what that means. It means fix my homegirls. The same thing when pro blacks say it. The same thing when fake red pill grifters say it. Like, dude, like there is no community. There's only individual action. Everybody's repeating the same information. The only thing you're buying into is the actual personality. It's the same information. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be. And that's why I never worry about the behavior of the women. Because if you have your shit together, the women wouldn't be a problem. Because I don't know people who get this stuff completely together and go dive headfirst back into the same circumstances that created the community in the first place. Man, look, I would rather be an incel than a child support nigga. 100% of the time. I would rather be a fucking incel than going around trying to make game true. 100% of the time. There ain't nothing wrong with being no fucking incel. Given these outcomes that we have, being an incel is probably where you need to be at, along with getting your ass to the productivity piece and stop worrying about being gaslit by most of these people within this space. So let me go back up to these comments. Yes, comment that O'Shea made about black men don't come together and we don't build shit. No, we're not supposed to. That's an individual job. We're not a church. We're not a nonprofit organization. This is an at will follow situation. People chose to use their actual time rather than being productive on their own self, and they turned it into time to be focused on actual entertainment. They got rid of Netflix, they got rid of their cable subscription, and the only thing they do, they piled in here and they supported people who was on the BS and effery. Him being one of them. I don't see how O'Shea can pretend like his whole channel, his entire channel is about leveraging collective black male failure when it comes to relationships. Now he does it in a slicker way than most of these other channels, but he's monetized black male pain. That's exactly what it is. There is no celebrity junk without bullshit relationship issues that people run into. Because if most of these men in Hollywood had actually cultured women that they actually go to and deal with, none of this shit would be possible. So you can't make it seem like you wasn't part of the black manosphere that took the manosphere in that direction. And to repeatedly keep lying about the shit, like that's something I got a problem with. Like, there's no need to lie about the history. Everybody knows this shit. And yes, I think the jump in the shark moment is when the actual dude started to defend Pearlie out in the wide open. I thought that was some high clown ass shit. Because that was just a situation she shouldn't have been speaking on, but she definitely shouldn't have these people out here defending her actual statements and trying to make it look like slavery wasn't that bad. All that kind of dude, it really weaponized. Well, actually, it didn't weaponize. It really showed where people was inside, and they tried to make this shit like it was legitimate criticism that you can dismiss a whole documented wrongdoing of a people by a couple of one person's docu-series that he may have doctored for one issue or another. That's crazy. Black men do want power. It's just that it's very few of them. A lot of people want this entertainment piece more than they want power. To be quite honest with you, that's what they've always wanted. They always wanted entertainment more than they wanted their own power. The power that you currently have is because of the Black Manosphere. You can't just keep divorcing yourself from the Black Manosphere whenever it's fucking convenient. If you look at 1.0 and 2.0, 2.0 destroyed what the Manosphere actually meant. And yes, it became a place and a safe haven for simps to complain about the very women that they were fucking dealing with, or wanted to deal with, or couldn't get away from because they married them. That's what it became. But you monetized the venting of that bullshit. You did. So you just can't come out here and keep lying about the history of the space. Everything in your life currently is because of the Black Manosphere and black problems. Everything that you have in your life right now is because of black male fucking problems. So there is no way that you can divorce yourself from a place that you helped fucking destroy. At this portion of the conversation, most men didn't want the responsibility of power itself because power comes with a level of discipline. And most of these people, they didn't want to be disciplined. They wanted to come to the black manosphere and treat it like the hood. They wanted all these people to come in here. They wanted you to keep your mouth closed and be on quote unquote code while they destroyed the place. They tried to make it look like legitimate information need to be met up with graphics and stripper poles and all types of bullshit that has nothing to do with the actual mission here. The mission of the Manosphere is simple: share ideas so that way you don't run into the same problems that other people ran into. Yes, there's a lot of good people who got trapped up in this system and lost some things over it. But sharing their stories didn't really mean anything if most of these people here wanted the same sexual access despite the problems that they was having with the same problematic women. So at that point, it becomes a space full of people selling the same bullshit to one another. When they know that this stuff wasn't going to be able to work and it's not a long-term solution. Yes, the manosphere was anti-black. Every fucking person who called himself a black conservative from 2015 to present were the people who destroyed the fucking manosphere. Yes. What the fuck you think black conservatism was about? Because it definitely wasn't about policies. It was about being anti-black woman and not learning the history so that way you wouldn't have the responsibility of working for your own power. So yes, it was anti-black man. It was anti-productive man. Because when productive men came here, professionals actually came here to give information to a lot of these unproductive people. They rejected the information and they supported the fucking bullshit. But this ain't a manosphere problem. This is a fucking black society problem. Look at these 50 and 60-year-old fuck niggas doing like news stories and stupid shit like that. Not leading, not producing, not getting nobody to the money, nothing. They're just stirring the pot at the fucking bottom of all this bullshit. The only power moves they got is keeping everybody else stuck while they use everybody else like a flotation device to fucking walk all over them. That's what happened. That's what this culture produces. And yes, the culture can produce something else if they deliberately go out there and do so. But the majority of people don't want that shit either. The complaining about women shit is the object of the space. Weaponizing and actually redirecting black men's red pill rage, that's what the fucking space turned into. It turned from a space about information, then it turned into deliberately gaslighting these men and redirecting their red pill rage and redirecting their lack of success in society onto complaints about women. That's what the fucking space did. The space did that shit for real. Yes, the space did do that. The space did do that. We deliberately did that to these men. And men paid for an actual space that could have meant something. They actually paid to destroy it. They paid to incentivize people to get away from the productivity piece and start investing in the bullshit. Why do you think the child support complaint crew and all these other dumb motherfuckers are here? They came here to destroy the fucking space. Remember, the piece of shit that y'all looked up to, Kevin Samuels, what was he doing? He was trying to dust off trashy ass fucking women and try to create another fucking blood sacrifice out of the very men that he thought he was fucking helping. I don't give a fuck if these women get it or not at this point. If you have 3 kids and you 30 something fucking years old, you don't need another fucking man. All right? But see, men went over there in high number to even support that bullshit rather than getting their own shit together. Why? They still wanted to complain about this fucking woman to the point to where she was going to give up all this power and infinite dick and just choose them. It wasn't entertainment. It was an informed point of view. That's what it was. Because if you had a strong father figure or even grandfather figure in your fucking life, he would never send you to a motherfucker like that. Or most of these motherfuckers around here. It would never fucking happen. I know to leave problematic motherfuckers the fuck alone. I know an empty suit when I fucking see one. It's all about the results. What you fucking produce. Trying to orchestrate car crashes between inexperienced men and overly experienced women, that ain't something to be writing home to. That's some fucking bullshit. But then again, most of these motherfuckers in the black manosphere took their ass right over there. Every time they had an actual opportunity to complain about this bitch, they did it. They did it. They supported it. I really get that we can't change these people. I'm not trying to change a motherfucking soul here. I'm trying to let you know what the eventual outcomes of these actions are here within this space. That's the original point of the manosphere. That's why I'm the man of tomorrow. I've already been through this shit. I've already left all this shit the fuck alone. I've already got the results that most people claim that they fucking want. The only thing is you have to kick all the bullshit out in order to get there. But see, a lot of these people, they didn't want that shit. They wanted somebody else to do it for them. While they acted like they was holding the whole system hostage by not being productive in their own right. They did that on purpose. Like they were going to humiliate the fuck out of me because they ain't shit in life. Like, nah, man, bro, listen, I'm gonna look at you like other people look at you, like you're fucking useless. All right, so O'Shea made a comment about men need to be disrespected. Um, that's why they don't get no respect from women. No, they don't get no respect from women is because those people are not women. Women have no problem respecting men, and men have no problem respecting women. Bitch ass niggas want something out of women. An actual what is now called the counterpart in society wants something else out of men because they've been overused by the wrong type of men in society where most of these women are not even women anymore. I'm not even sure what you call them. What do you call somebody who's not been held responsible culturally for the outcomes of the actual children? They deliberately pick the actual men to actually destroy the actual environment itself, and they deliberately tried to wait on other men that they never respected to come back and fix the shit. Those are not women. That's not what women act like in other cultures. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm definitely not choosing from it, and I'm definitely not respecting it, and I'm definitely not having them on, and I'm definitely not listening to their goddamn complaints. Remember, women go to the Bravo Alpha November to actually partner with this individual to keep the situation the way it is. These women ain't stupid. I'm not gonna treat them like they stupid. I'm gonna treat them like they're doing it on motherfucking purpose. Both of these individuals. That's the only way I could be able to stay sane. Is look at these people like they doing this shit on purpose. I am never going to make this shit look like it's some fucking accident. It's not no fucking accident. These statistics ain't no accident. These statistics are about things that happened on purpose. We could have seen them a long time ago, but this argument between both of the genders been happening since since we since the civil rights legislation. But there was a lot of men who still wanted to make deals with the wrong type of women. That's where we at right now today. Yeah, red pill grifters are frauds because red pill grifters never use their so-called red pill information to go get them a woman that don't even act like this shit. The only thing they're doing is they're just redirecting dudes right back into this actual environment with bad information that women can predictably see a mile away. That's what happened. That's not hard to get. That is exactly what happened. Okay? I understand people have low attention spans because they stupid as shit, but they'll tune in to hours of live stream on bullshit all the time. Okay? That's not everybody's fault. It's not everybody's problems. That's not everybody's condition. It just isn't. And yes, why do you think the federal government is setting up this shit to start hitting niggas with them RICO charges? Like I said before, I said 4 or 5 years ago that dude, they're gonna see the money being made off of this shit. They're gonna see the people cracking the fuck out and hulking out and fucking doing all this stupid shit. They're gonna start seeing a lot of this same information in the same place, and they're gonna be like, look, this information leads to radicalism or people radicalized. That's what this shit leads to. It doesn't lead you to the actual women, because if that was the fucking case, most of these dudes are single. Trying to tell you, trying to infect your mind about female nature and then send your ass some bullshit to have you go after the same women with bad information. Ridiculous. And it's not like I want to benefit off of male pain. I don't want to benefit off of male rage. I want to benefit off men getting their shit together so that way we can move along as an actual group to other things that matter. But you can't get there if everybody wants to support bullshit. You can't get there if everybody looks at legitimate information as, oh, well, you know what? There are no lies involved here, so I'm just going to go somewhere else. Like, dude, these people chase down misinformation and they treat misinformation like it's something that they should have. And then they come to the legitimate people and try to get us to fight with them with the places where they go. Like, if you can't manage a simple YouTube subscription, about where to spend your time, who the fuck is gonna come solve your problems for you? Nobody gonna come solve your problems for you. That's a you problem. All right, I think that's all my commentary on the actual thing itself. But you guys have got to understand this, man. That's why I bring up the Denver metro area. Because you can't simply live in the Denver metro area if you ain't got your shit together. If not, your ass is gonna be off of there, off in 5 Points or off of Martin Luther King, living 6 or 7 to a fucking house, just like they do in rural America, living 5, 6 to a goddamn trailer, stuck in perpetual low wage jobs because you refuse to fucking skill up. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. Not paying attention to the best practices everywhere. You want your children to be productive, but you leave it up to the school system rather than you actually doing the actual work of actually being a parent. You deserve to fucking lose. And to think the Black Manosphere was supposed to fix all these motherfuckers, you got to be fucking out of your mind. We couldn't fix people. They had a problem when they came here. It was only apparent in what they was attracted to once they got here. They wanted to fail, and then they wanted to point at the woman as the reason why they were failing. No, men didn't want to be like other groups. Every time you talk about comparing yourself to another group, you always have some pro-black piece of shit come out of the woodwork and tell you that oh our circumstances are special. You can't compare us to another group. Like what are you talking about? The same people who watch sports in high ass levels don't want to compare one thing to another. Like how the fuck do you do that? They went and deliberately chased down the actual people that fit in with their worldview. They did that shit. Okay? Listen, the only people complaining are the people who don't understand why they're failing. That has nothing to do with the entire group, by the way. They want to make their inability to actually survive within the environment everybody else's problems. And that's crazy. That's not my problem. Listen, being born in the Mississippi Delta, listen, bro, you had all the excuses in the world on why things did not work, but you also had a responsibility to not stay there beyond the time that your ass knew that that stuff was useless, even being there. But you have to recognize that when people say stupid shit like that, it's never debated. It's only said in a bubble. It's only said in a vacuum, and there's really nothing that you can be able to say to things like that. I'm like, look, we still got individual responsibilities out here. They sure do. But our culture is male usury. Like that's our culture. Our culture is male usury. We are literally waiting for other people to come back around and save individuals that they never respected. Yeah, their subculture's dying. Their subculture's dying. The candle is being burnt at both ends. You can no longer find the grand majority or nearly 100% of the people to actually keep the stuff going. And you cannot find older individuals who's going to be productive enough to take on these women's responsibility with all these kids. That's what's happening at the other end. And then you got the people who are trapped in the middle who's not even going to get their shit together to take care of either group. And then you have the stupid motherfuckers who call themselves community minded and all this stupid shit, trying to cheerlead on people to go inside this burning building with this countdown timer on it. Like I said, I don't have the medical background and I don't have the facilities to create a new society so these people cannot participate in shit but benefit from everything. Oh, that's what's up, man. Congratulations to him. I say this: when people start talking that black community shit, they're playing you for a fucking fool, man. There is no community. There's only people who intend to benefit off the brokenness of the community. Because if this shit was fixed, none of this stuff would be that much of a problem. But that's the problem here, right? There ain't nothing wrong with the black manosphere. Nothing at all. There's nothing wrong with the black manosphere. Nothing. There isn't wrong in the greater populace of society. Nothing. You want to fall for this bullshit? That's on you. That's not really everybody else's fault, everybody else's problem, everybody else's responsibility. If you look at this black shit the way that it is, it's all centered around men's inability to find happiness with the counterpart in society. That's what this whole shit is about. Now, I think if you don't have your stuff together, there's no way that you should be having any access to sexual activity, period. But guess what? That's just me, and I don't control that, nor do I want to. But the outcomes speak for itself. These people deliberately came here to create platforms based off of keeping these things going. People ain't that stupid. And yes, all these people are looking around like these things, like they're not coordinating behind the scenes, like they're not talking to these actual individuals. Like, dude, the analytics show the shit. It's a very small group of people who's actually benefiting off of this. So we took something that could have done some good, and we only made sure a couple of people got paid with it. That's not my fault. As a productive dude, that is not my fault. I'm glad people are able to come here and show where their value systems are at. I don't want to force these people to be productive. I don't want to force these people to be successful. But they've made a choice whether or whether or not that they want to fail. And we know the collective portion of Manosphere 2.0 was about leveraging black male pain into personal profit. We can't escape that. O'Shea, Angry Man, Obsidian cannot walk away from that. That's the legacy of Manosphere 2.0, which ended with the death of Kevin Samuels. That doesn't reflect anything else that's happening in society. So when you see incredibly stupid motherfuckers like Ron Neal and BGS Itmore telling you about how all these things are changing because black men ain't got their shit together and they're starting to hear our voice, nigga, them motherfuckers don't give a fuck about you not having your fucking shit together. But you'll find a collective amount of fucking idiots who think that because their situation is bad, someone else cares about them. No, sir, they don't care about you at all, and they never have at all. Mainstreaming, your inability to follow simplistic ass directions is not a good thing, man. It's not a good thing at all. But that's what you're attracted to. You're attracted to being gaslit over your predictable pain that you can predictably stop, but you don't fucking want to. Why? That would mean that you wasted a lot of time in that zone. And I do agree. If you waste a lot of time in that zone, I'm telling you, it's not going to be a good deal. And you're not going to be able to think straight. You're not going to be able to think straight after a while, man. But then again, they will chase down incredulous men to fucking believe rather than take the information that's already there and go do something productive with their own life. They don't even want to do that shit. But then again, once they get called on it, they want to turn it into a popularity argument. We're talking about older motherfuckers here. Everything turns into a popularity argument the moment you try to fix something. I agree with that. That's the actual that's the cultural history here. That's not wrong, by the way, dude. The Black Manosphere has always been on track. The Black Manosphere is what you do with the information once you stop listening to these live streams. That's where the Black Manosphere is at. The Black Manosphere just gave you all the information up front. That's what the job was. These people who are quote unquote leaving the Black Manosphere, they just cannot not leverage it for anything else more than what they can leverage it for. That's why they're leaving. They're leaving because their job is done here with the Manosphere. Okay? They sabotaged it so that way it wouldn't fucking work. They sabotaged it so that way the name wouldn't mean anything. Then they walked off. Their mission is complete. They wanted to yet make sure men had yet another space that was being destroyed from the inside out. That's what their job was. That's what their job was. So if that mission is complete, I guess that's right. All these people wanted to lead the manosphere the moment that they saw that this shit wasn't going to be able to be leveraged for anything else monetarily. That's why they left. If you ask them why they came here in the first place, their job was to come here, build a fucking audience, and bounce. That's what it was. I can't see how O'Shea is like, oh, the Black Manosphere. I'm like, dude, everything in your life is based on the fucking Black Manosphere. Everything. Everything in your life, every check you fucking cash, all this fucking shit that you hunted down, all the shit that you doing over there on your channel is 100% Black Manosphere related shit. You just found a way to monetize it and take most of the stink out of it. It's still bullshit. But at the end of the day, you will never be able to do business with legitimate motherfuckers. The moment that they see the shit you own and how you made your fucking money, they ain't gonna never fucking team with you, bruh. That's why when you see these motherfucking rappers and ball players try to go into cities and try to buy up shit, how they immediately close the motherfuckers off from doing any type of business. Yes. The moment you start making money, that's when motherfuckers start telling you what the fuck you can't do. Pro black means help black women. That's what that means. It always has meant that. I don't have a problem with it because there's a lot of people who's not gonna fucking leave. There's a lot of people who's not gonna get their shit together. There's a lot of people who make it their shit together, and there's a lot of people gonna still with be with these women anyway. But why do I gotta be the point person to point that the fuck out? These black male problems made these motherfuckers, man. And their inability to find solutions for these problems is what keeps them fucking paid. If people wanted to improve, they already would have done it already. That's the problem. They didn't want to improve. They wanted to stay exactly where they were. They wanted to be on this woe is me nonsense. And they wanted somebody else to come fix it for them. I get why the women are here. Some are good looking, some are not. But gaslighting your stupid ass is the method of the day. They have to do that. Why? They're not going to give you all that access and shit. They're not going to give you what you want. It's too late for that now. The way that they treated you culturally, they don't trust you culturally because of the way that they treated you. Why? Because they know that any man with any type of sense wouldn't take this type of deal. Here's the thing, I'm the fucking space. That's right. I'm the space. The productivity piece, the leaving this shit alone piece, the politically organizing piece, all that shit's happening right here. That's why the content that I do is meant to discourage individuals from coming over here. I'm not full of shit. I could be able to defend myself. I could be able to show up and defend my points. Most bitch ass niggas can't even do that. They have to throw rocks and hide their hands. They have to bring up our name and jest on other fucking panels. The link don't stay fucking dropped or none of that shit. I see people throwing around this word grifter, man. So we have to get into what a grifter is and what a grifter is not. We have to do that. To me, a grifter is attaching yourself deliberately to a problem, encouraging the same problem that's going on, and never providing a solution to said problem. Like red pill content creators, like SBE, like the relationship industrial complex. Those are grifts. Game, selling game, the idea of game to somebody. That's what a grift is. What a grift is not, actually keeping up a public misinformation and disinformation campaign, giving fake representation to disaffected men. I think that's a grift too. when you have attorneys come into a space, have legal background, but yet don't talk about how to legally dodge problems. I think that's a fucking grift. Well, I disagree with that statement. All right. So BGS Itmore tends to think that Miss Pearly thinks is going to be doing something for black boys. Her and Nick Fuentes, and O'Shea is complaining about how, which I do agree with, by the way. The Pearly things did allow these dudes to flame their own reputation to the point to where they can't come back from that shit. So I do agree with that. I do agree with him that yeah, like her coming around here and those people saw those numbers and they saw that they was going to potentially benefit, and these people burned up their credibility. That's right, burned up their credibility, set it on fire to the point to where the fake pro-black shit that most of these people do around here isn't even effective. If you got people immediately burning down the tent from the outside over numbers, that's what happened. They burned their credibility. I don't mind them doing it, but still, you still needed to know where these people were. These people wanted to build an audience to hide behind collective ignorance. That's what they wanted. They wanted to hide behind the collective ignorance of their fucking audience, and that's it. Because that's what they wanted to do. And they told you this up front. Dude, if you wanted a channel, if you wanted a big ass channel, just cover hip hop. Cover hip hop, cover all the bullshit stories known with hip hop, and you have no problem building 100,000 channel within a couple of fucking months. The only thing you have to do is cover all of the same exact bullshit and all these bullshit fucking stories about hip hop around it. Because guess what? Hip hop don't work either without death, crime, and drugs. It don't work without any of those things, or else actually the leveraging of black male pain from these bullshit relationships that they get into because they think they can afford the consequences of such. That's all it is. And I'm not saying that I want these people to listen to me. I'm not saying that I want these people over here. But I am going to point out the fact of what's actually happening. Because when you point out what's actually happening, you can see the lack of success and who is being successful based off of these problems. And most of these people had the nerve to call Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton grifters when they came to the Manosphere and they did worse than what they were doing. At least they had nonprofit organizations and they actually did some shit for people. These people ain't did none of that. But that's where we at though. Yes, I can see all this shit. I can see all this shit. It's really not that difficult or hard. I've seen worse shit go on in military units, far worse shit go on in police units. Trust me, I know what the fuck is going on here. Yes. The only thing they had to do it's about where you aimed at on the point on the horizon. If you want to be with a spent woman who's caused a bunch of problems for other people, and you just want her to, I don't know, be in your household and not cause you future problems for whatever sick ass reason that you have, I don't know, man. I really don't know, man. I kind of find it hard to believe that you cannot figure this shit out for yourself. You don't need a high IQ to fucking figure this shit out. You don't. Yep, he was there. Back then, he was called Guy King. This stuff ain't hard, folks. You can get your shit together and you can get on the fuck up out of here. Very easy. I would rather have all these people here to see where people stand. This space is going to be this space because of the actual individuals that are here. You need a different group of individuals around everywhere so that way you can see where people are on, man. You got to see what they on, man. You got to see them being battle tested, man. You got to see them be battle tested. You got to see the levels of compromise. Because if you can see it here, if you can see it unfold here, you can recognize it inside your own life. That's how come I've never left the fucking space. That's not the mission. Like if you want to bitch about women and vent about women, why the fuck are you? Why are you with women that you need to vent about? A space doesn't need to be created for you to actually vent about women. The problem is that you shouldn't be dealing with women that you have to vent about because I'm not going to be with a woman that I need to vent about. I'm not going to do that. Same conservatives that overturn abortion stopped with the pill. They legalized the abortion pill. The same people who overturned abortion kept the pill on the market. Did any black conservative cover that Supreme Court decision? Did they cover it? What's going on, TJ? I think that's a very sad state of affairs if you need a place to vent about the women that you picked and you chose. I think that's a problem. I, I think the black manosphere isn't even a place for you. I think that's interesting that you need a whole place to vent about the women that you decided to attach yourself to for the rest of your life. Then you leave those people behind. Then you leave them out the conversation. Or you keep all these people around and you see what type of conversation that they're actually attracted to. And then you stay away from those zones too. Like like BGS isn't stupid. He know most of these people still want to deal with this fucking woman. And they're willing to burn their entire credibility and disregard the actual consequences other people face in order to deal with the same women. I don't think you can help those people. I don't think you can help those people. I don't want them over here. I want their ass right over there where that shit is what the topic of conversation is. Because you shouldn't have the same complaints about the same women unless you are locked in with somebody that you shouldn't be with. Those are not my people. Like you have to understand that this group that you think you're a part of, bro, you're not part of that group. You're not part of that group. I understand those men are willing to take a bad deal. They're part of a different group than I'm part of. They're part of a different group of people. I got somewhere else where I want to be. I'm part of a different group within a group. That's why I say the grand majority of people are going nowhere. They just need excuses to do that. That's what the women-based conversation is about. But it's what you vent about and the actions you take afterwards. What's the use of venting about women if you actually are, married to her and now you have to take the entire group down because you are with a woman that you said not supposed to be with, or else you're in a relationship that you can't get away from. Yeah, I vent all the time about unproductive men. I do it all the time. After this shit's over with, I got productive shit to go do. Man, look, this is why this shit is. Oh, this is why this is dark comedy on a level that, man, you cannot help people who do that. What it does is build me a tighter fist and have more lack of concern for individuals who deliberately put themselves in those type of circumstances. Because these things have an easy fix. It's called go the other way, do something else, be with other women. These people always, oh, well, I want a woman who had a father in their life. And they say this, and then they turn around and find a woman at the bus stop and try to put her in their crew, and then she end up wrecking, ruining, and destroying the damn place, and then they want to blame everybody else for it. Yes, if they can keep you complaining, you won't be progressing. You can't complain and progress at the same time. You literally can't do that. If they could keep you emotionally distraught by providing you more and more excuses to not take action, yeah, that's what they're here to do. They're here to stop you from taking action by dousing your ass with the actual chemicals of black male failure and radicalizing your ass and turning yourself into a to an actual nihilist, so that way you don't believe anything will work. But you want to keep the same complaints as if things are working. Yeah, but you're correct. That's why they hate the skills and resources piece. Because the skills and resources piece is about action. They want to sit here and talk. That's why the skills and resources piece offend a lot of these men. Because a lot of dudes just ain't got their shit together. They think that their life starts the moment that they get submission from this fucking woman. Once they start being installed as an artificial head of household where they can deal with liberal women with no fucking consequences. Like, that's the American dream for these bitch ass niggas. That's the American dream for these dudes. Hand me a woman I can destroy and I can walk away from. Then I'll produce for you. Then I'll produce for society. That's what these people actually think. These bitch ass niggas want to live like a whole fucking side chick in 2023. These dudes want to live like a whole fucking side chick. These dudes want to live like a whole fucking Instagram model. We talk about grown ass fucking adults. Yes. You got grown ass adults who want the rights of women. That's what they want. They want to be invested in. Goldman Sachs is investing in the women. How come they ain't investing in us? Like, dude, nobody invests in bitch ass niggas. Nobody does that. Who the fuck want to invest in weak men? Nobody fucking does that. Nobody fucking investing in whining and crying ass fucking niggas, man. Don't nobody invest in that shit. They don't want to see it. That's what they want. They want the rights of women. That's what they want. Ronan, that's what I'm saying. If they're not doing it for these people in the middle of fucking nowhere in rural fucking America, why would they skip over all of those people and do that for black men and boys? Could you please fucking answer that for me? Excellent point. Excellent point. Yes, but they want to go get half of their shit together, go run away and give it to the same type of women, and then they want the government to protect them from the consequences of dealing with those type of women. You can't invest more in the men if you already have the skills and the resources out here. You already have a set up society to where you can easily get to the productivity piece if that's what you want to do. Bro, this shit ain't gonna never be fixed by these dudes. And I'm never gonna fight for these issues. Trust me, if you want to be gaslit, you want some fake ass representation, okay, man. There are places here where you can go for that shit. Yeah, bro, listen, man. I could have two people in here, and my message will still stay the same, and you will still be light years beyond all this bullshit if you just follow what the fuck I've said. That's the thing. They think they're humiliating the planet by being non-productive. They think they're humiliating the planet by being non-productive. If you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna continue to not be shit. Okay, people are okay with that. Really, they're really okay with you not being shit. Literally, they're okay with that. But they want the government to be their family, dude. That's the problem. Listen, when I was in the Mississippi Delta and I seen that there was no future prospects, guess who took my ass to the fucking recruitment office? I took my ass to the recruitment office. The moment I passed that test, yeah, that's what happened. I had to put myself in that situation. I did. My responsibility. Why? Because I've seen people working at these department stores and shit, and these are the people who had the degrees. I'm like, dude, I'm not. No, I'm not doing this shit. I've seen some of the smartest individuals stay in a bad situation, hoping for it to get better, and it never did. Those people are still down there, waiting on somebody else to come and rescue them from things that it is their problem. These people just don't understand how much incentive they got to make sure shit work right. Yep, and that's why they ass is still out there trying trying to wait for them jobs to come back to their homestead act land. That's why they out there. Leave their ass out there. That's why the whites who had sense they moved from out there and moved to the damn burbs. Yes, all because they didn't want to move to the money. They expected the money to come to them. So they accepted all this radicalization bullshit rather than move to a better position. And these men are falling into the same situation. They are. They rather take fake ass representation rather than learn how the system works and participate. This stuff ain't hard, man. It really ain't hard. But they want to fail. They want to fail. And they think that them failing is going to embarrass the entire planet into helping them. That's not how that works. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're here to share the information. Listen, every time I started over, yeah, I started over 3 times too. I started over when I got out of the military. I started over when I was done with IT, getting into this trucking shit. And I nearly had to start over after getting screwed over by an owner operator until I started getting my own shit. Once I had my own shit, yeah, I was off to the races. I didn't have to worry about nobody. I didn't have to be beholden to nobody except for these customers and these government contracts. Other than that, I was I knew how to treat myself. I knew how to come to work and do what I needed to do. Most of my entire existence has been not having any fucking days off. Now I get to work for myself with the same work ethic that I was giving to all these other people for damn near free. Of course. 'Yeah, that's where they have to gaslight you on to following this fake ass standard of masculinity by trying to be with the wrong type of woman. That's why they're doing that. They're doing that shit on purpose. Yeah, I was a DBA, then I was a software guy, went to a hardware guy, then I was an IT project manager, then I burned out on the IT project management shit. Yeah, I went through the whole thing. Yeah, 4 years. 4 years. But now you could probably do it in 4 years, and you could do it in a sleeker fashion than what I did. What I did is I bought a whole bunch of trucks with the money that I saved. But you don't even have to do that now. But I bought a whole bunch of trucks. I didn't know what I was doing, and I made a lot of mistakes. But all that shit could have been done easily within 4 years and not taking the route that I took. Now you can have like 2 or 3 trucks and make over $1 million a year gross, easy. No, but the way that I did it was the wrong way to do it. The wrong way. Still worked, but it was no, it was the longest the longest path to get to a specific point. And I'm not gonna bullshit you on that. The longest path. But yeah, you can do it easily within 4 years. 4 years. Yeah, you should be 4 years. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, man. Or else, I mean, you can go monk mode or you can go monkey mode. You know what I'm saying? Acting like you ain't got no sense, acting like there ain't no consequences until you actually get your ass in them. That's what most of these dudes did. Monkey mode. Man, look, the amount of time that I get to think, I think that's the most reward. That's the most reward, man. Having all this time to think to myself, being able to use Chat GPT to write and answer questions to things, dude, bro. The good thing about a CDL is you have that marketability like you had like in the 1980s. Like you can go to nearly any city in this country and still get a job driving truck because that's how needed the actual job is. But like being a mechanic and owning a truck, the same shit. The moment you realize how much money that you can make without working for a company, your ass is not gonna be with a company. Being able to have that time to think on the road though, man, bro, that's everything, man. I can run all four of my businesses behind the wheel of this fucking truck. Most of my shit is automated at this point, to include the land buying shit. Things are just going well, man. And I'm not gonna change that shit. So that way I can try to babysit a whole bunch of dudes who ain't going nowhere, man. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. So most of this live stream is not about O'Shea, but at the end of the day, bro, everything you have in life is because of the Black Manosphere. It's because of the support from black men. You can't walk away from that shit. Dude, you sound crazy walking away from that shit. I sound crazy walking away from the fucking Black Manosphere. Nah, man, I invested too much time and I care too much about these fucking people to just up and fucking leave. The mission isn't done yet. My mission isn't done yet. There's still people today being caught in the bullshit. Right at the moment where they think they can make some progress and change, you got these fucking clowns who grab a hold of these dudes and put their ass right back in the spin cycle. I am the space. I am the fucking space, man. I'm the type of man that they don't want to talk to. I'm the type of man that they don't want to talk to. Yeah. Most of these women who got these platforms gaslighting you and not providing you shit, like, dude, they don't want to talk to actual fucking men. They don't want to talk to no fucking men. They want to talk to bitch ass niggas. That's where they power come from. Bitch ass niggas give them power. Nothing changes, man. I'm not changing my platform. A lot of those videos I hid, 7,000 views, 8,000 views, 9,000 views. I had to hide all my fucking old content. Why? People want to listen to the old content about bitches. Like, bro, man, nah, man, let me get this shit out of here. Where'd all those videos go? Bro, listen, man. Bro, listen. You should be past that shit by now. Yeah, I mean, I could. I mean, I have one, but I just can't give away that type of information for free. That's millions of dollars worth of information. I just can't give that shit away. I can get you into the field because once you get in the field, you're gonna notice all this shit anyway. That's actually how I got my CDO. Voc Rehab, the actual VA paid for it. Yep, the VA paid for my actual CDO. Now they're charging people like five, six, $7,000 to get your CDL now through these companies. Shit's crazy. It's called Cortez Smith. But that's what we at, folks. Again, this is not an anti O'Shea stream, but we got to be honest with the fact that you are a leader in this fucking space, and you just can't walk away from it now that there's something wrong with the branding of it. Yes, the dudes you supported destroyed the brand. That's what it was. The dudes you supported, the dudes that you were feeding this bullshit to, those people destroyed this brand. Yeah, it became a place where dudes came to like dude said earlier, vent about bitches that they don't even have access to. And yes, I am a leader in this fucking space. And yes, my message is counter to actually trying to focus on women. It's counter to that. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, yeah. I've seen some companies charge more than 5,000. Like I know these community colleges charge more than 5,000 for it. But that's where we at, folks. And it don't matter what your background is, man. You can still change this shit, but you gotta want to change it. You gotta want to see it. These other people are fine with you failing, man. They fine with stepping over your fucking corpse, man. They don't care about you failing. But at the end of the day, the dude's gonna keep putting that compromise out there because they got to get men off track. They have to stop men from being productive. They have to put out this political misinformation and disinformation so that way you cannot appropriately be able to center yourself. They have to, and they benefit off of these things not working. Me, I'm quite the opposite. Everybody wins when everything works. I don't have to change my message. I already have money already. I don't have to sell compromise. I don't have to talk about goofy shit and stupid shit and chase down celebrity giant. I ain't got to do none of that because I actually do care about my goddamn gender winning and getting back to the work is what's gonna make us win. And am I gonna do the work for you? Nope. You're gonna do the work for you. The only thing that I'm laying out is the framework. You're gonna take this framework, you're gonna put it inside your life, and you're gonna see changes. You gotta go do the work. You have to. Yeah. Bro, listen, man, they see themselves not mattering and being left behind. Yeah, they're gonna be upset about that shit, as they should. But you shouldn't stop your progress because they're upset about shit. Man, fuck them. That's why you got to be able to deal with people in a different standard. My standard is the mind state. That's the standard, the mind state. I ain't got time to be around people who ain't got their mind right, bro. I ain't got time for that. And I'm never going to make time for it. And I'm never going to accept it. That's why I stay working. That's why I stay on the road. I do my best work my best thinking, my best everything whenever I got a bunch of shit that I need to manage at the same time. But that is a position that I put myself in. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for coming through on this actual live stream. Subscribe if this is your first time here. There's nothing wrong with the Manosphere, and the mission is not complete. It is nowhere near being completed. It's damn near like we never even started. But at the end of the day, we still got work to do. And complaining about women ain't even part of the top 1,000 things I got to think about. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for coming through on the Man Tomorrow. You guys have a really nice rest of y'all Sunday. Peace.